Money that I don't accept. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
One out of a million will reach those heights. Always in the field and then I won't deny that work. Never could toss. Look in my eyes, I'm on the rocks. Rise. A couple milli now, I'm causing a commotion. I've been coasting, hear my name around the world like an explosion.
We are the apocalypse, and a pair that keeps us floating. As we fly above the stars, the hype won't scare us falling. So rise up. I'm too great to be landed. Rise up. We're too great to be standing.
They never gonna stop us, fly by them like choppers. Better took those risks, hold one of my fists, we fire starters. Let's go. One out of a million will reach those heights. Always in the field and then I won't deny that work. Never could toss. Look in my eyes, I'm on the rocks. Rise.
Try your luck and take a chance. Before the risks in this moment, take my hand and break my heart. I'll never walk this road again. Stumbling steps grow to a dance where things change forever. There's no regrets, only the past. Will I change? Never. So swing me around. Take me down, you won't break me, I'm too strong. Keep saying it wrong, I'll play along, but I will never be a victim. So swing me around, take me down, you won't break me, I'm too strong. Keep saying it wrong, I'll play along, but I will never be a victim. Never be a victim.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome over towards the ESEA main debut here for Inferus eSports. It's set to be quite an exciting matchup here at the moment. We're seeing ISO eSports, the Finnish org, looking to try and dip their toes into this ESEA main campaign, as it definitely is going to be quite interesting seeing early on, you know, the type of playstyles that we have sort of come accustomed to for this Inferus side. Of course, some of the more notable names missing from it, you know, names like Inko, names like Dumas, players who have recently looks to be departed the roster. However, the roster situation's currently not my forte when it does come to Inferus eSports. However, ISO, how about this for their forte? Tapping heads and pulling Inferus to shreds. That stairs pop coming through here. Absolutely decimated here by the CT pistol hold. ISO pick up the first round, and well, what an explosive way to start ourselves off this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your caster Flamboyant, looking to try and take you through some of the action. Hope you're all having a great day. I hope you guys have had an amazing day, and of course, calming it down a little bit to finish off your night with a little bit of Counter-Strike. Could be worse. It could be worse. Honestly, it could be worse. And, well, the buy for Inferus could definitely be worse. We're seeing 3 Deagles come in, a Mac 10, Tech 9, to accompany those hand cannons. We are seeing, mainly for ISO, that MP9 buy with a little bit of utility. We are seeing Armor sitting there with that M4A1S. Will be quite interesting to see, you know, where it does sort of get its play, where it does get its positioning. It's looking to be quite aggressive over towards B. Flashes over the top, the peak to come through. Jelicity does have a lot of work. He's going to swing wide, able to find one, traded off by that M4. They do know where it is now, and we could potentially even start to see Inferus get it even a little bit more aggressive. We are going to see that MP9 recovered, the Mac 10 yet to be picked up yet, as we are going to see Usman and Jaguar try to take the fight on here from Pillar. We're going to see Massey good enough for one. Armor with that M4A1S continuing to find damage, picks up his second, and now it's just Jaguar left by his lonesome here. Tech 9 with the bomb on his back, and well, stays ineffective. We're going to see ISO able to pick themselves up a second. The CT side here on Overpass looking to get themselves underway, and more importantly, looking to try and get themselves into a position where they're not going to be challenged at all. As, of course, Overpass, one of those more CT-sided maps when it does, you know, boil down to it. The map pool at the moment, lots of discussion today about it being potentially changed. Mirage looking to be the exclusion. I know a lot of Na'Vi players were very unhappy about it, but I think the broader community is quite pleased, and it'll be interesting to see, you know, what does happen with that map pool situation. If it evolves into anything special, it will be interesting. However, speaking of interesting, how about this push from ISO here at the moment? They've gotten all the way up towards that ladder room, and all of a sudden, the amount of space that they have is starting to reward themselves. We're going to see Cormus able to find himself one. That M4 from last round is going to be recovered, and well, a small victory to come through. As we are going to slowly see Cormus trying to keep that M4A1S. They're going to line up for him, however, he's not going to be able to find that frag. We're going to see Rutui tag down all the way to 6 points of health before being able to find that frag, and well, it is starting to look quite interesting in this server at the moment. Inferus currently on the back foot. The question is, are they going to be able to get a lot of momentum going forward and potentially try to get a lot of that control around the map to potentially set themselves up quite early on in this game. Potentially rebound themselves. No, the full rifle bars coming through. Was team out good enough for one? Can't find the second. We're going to see Poke continuing to poke the bear, and eventually the bear goes down. That stairs presence decimated. We're going to see Cormus good enough for one. Doesn't expect the second there, but will fall off the angle. Invoke. Oh, he's going to catch the turn. He's caught the timing. Invoke good enough for one. Potential for the second to come through here. Poke has to be careful. That nade going in. Very, very nearly missing him. We are going to start to slowly see it calm down here in the server. 50 seconds left to play. Inferus here in the 3v3 situation. The best opportunity they've had to win a round thus far in this game. Jaguar looking to try and show a little bit of long presence as the B hit looks to be the hit coming through. We are going to see Usman able to get that opening pick potential for Mazzy to hold strong. He does drop that bomb, which is quite interesting. We're going to see Usman over towards this toxic area of the map. He's going to be spotted pushing that smoke. We're going to see Mazzy single-handedly defend this B side. A little bit of help at the very, very end there from the AWP of Ratui. As ISO able to pick themselves up a fourth. And this new look Inferus side all of a sudden taking a very, very noticeable backstep here in the server. As we are going to start to see Inferus back into this one. 4 Deagles, the scout, the buy here. As we're going to see Valk able to find a little bit of damage through that smoke spray. And this CT side is really controlling the game so far, and I think especially what we are seeing from Inferus is, you know, they haven't really adjusted towards the control that ISO are taking. You know, how many times have we seen ISO continue to hold a lot of these choke points with very little trades coming through, very little trade attempts going through? We're seeing Inferus, you know, single peeking into a lot of these fights. You know, swinging by themselves, expecting them to be able to be good enough to catch that frag. Just being unable to, and it's really starting to hurt, and it's really starting to slowly pick apart at, I guess, a lot of the control that is happening in the server. We are going to see Ratsui with that AWP. Good enough to find himself a frag with that AWP. Actually doubling up. My apologies. Didn't notice the frag he had gotten earlier. We're going to see Jelicity able to recover that M4. Potentially trying to hunt down the AWP. Eventually we'll be able to find that frag. However, 3 more to go in this 2v3 situation. A little bit of utility to cover the escape, as we are going to slowly see Cormus with that scout. What kind of shenanigans are we going to be able to see him get up to here? That bomb needs to go down. We're going to see the swing come out from T-Mal, able to find the frag, and now with very, very little time, Jelicity to try and save this M4A1S. Question is, will he be able to do it successfully? Yes, he will. A huge gun to be saved over. Almost certainty here for the full buy. As we are going to start to, once again, see ISO completely dominant. In the server. Continuing to have so much control here on this CT side. Some missed utility, the very, very least of their concerns. A flash over the top. We're seeing this double setup coming in towards this sandbags area of this B side. How many times have we seen ISO continue to double up around that control? You know, even when we are seeing Inferus being able to find that frag, usually, I think it's just the one. We do see ISO a lot of the time being cheeky enough to find you know, an extra frag when Inferus aren't looking. However, a little bit more of a slow and steady take coming in here from Inferus as they're able to get this B bomb site to crumble beneath this ISO defense. As Inferus, well, in the 5v2 situation in the post plant, they'll almost be certain here to get this round. The only question is, How many guns are they going to be able to keep it into the next one, as we are going to slowly see a little bit of presence coming over towards this T spawn area of the map. Very, very delicate in the way we are seeing some of these corners cleared, as Inferus, well, a little bit of a disappointing start here. The first 6 rounds have a 5-1 scoreline, but the T side finally able to get something on the board, as we are going to start to slowly see yet again a lot of this control coming through. As ISO, well, look at how aggressive they're getting, especially around Fountain. We're seeing team out already in playground, and well, it's going to be a fight for his life here. We're going to see Jaguar actually able to find it, and all of a sudden it's starting to get quite interesting here. The 4v5 and the need to go down, potentially showing a little bit of presence towards that monster area of the map. Cormus down fairly low. Cormus needing quite the frag here. And quite the holdover towards this B area of the map. A little bit of long presence to be shown here from Inferus before that rotation does start to come across. We are going to slowly take a look at what is going to be this B rotation coming through. Jelicity has a really big role cutting off that rotation here from mid, however, does slowly fall off it. And Massey, well, a huge hold to come through here for him. We are going to see Armour able to find himself 2. Potential for the 3rd. Able to find 3. What a hold from that young man. Armour to find 3 on that B take coming through here. All of a sudden has just decimated the ability of Inferus here on this B site. And how many times are we going to see Inferus continue to challenge B, especially when we're seeing Armour, when we're seeing Valk over towards this B area of the map and continuing to run into what's seeming like a brick wall time and time again. How many times are we going to see Inferus hit this B site only to be stopped? As we're going to start to see a 4-man setup towards BI, so are so incredibly confident in the fact that Inferus are going to lean a lot of numbers here towards B. Smokes to go through. Cormus will be spotted chasing the frag. Now has to swing it at 2. Good enough to find the Orb of Ratui. Massey to find 1. Cormus to be able to find himself a 2nd, a 3rd onto the entry before going down to Armour. This toxic presence coming through here. We're going to see utility rain down. Armour to find himself 2. Armour potential for the 3rd to come through here as Poke all of a sudden being in charge of this angle. Molotovs to go down, Smokes fade, utility to force Armour into the fight. He's not going to be able to find himself a 3rd, only good for 2. And Team Meow can only sit and watch as that bomb goes down. The timer starts to slowly tick down. We're going to see Usman with that AWP watching the angle from that hell area of the map, and all of a sudden what was looking to be potentially a strong round coming in from this CT side of ISO slowly picked apart here by the entering prowess of Cormus, able to find himself 3 on that last round, as we are going to see Inferus pick up their 2nd. How many times we've seen Inferus head towards this B site? You know, we're 8 rounds in, my apologies. We've seen them go about 5, 6 times, I think is a pretty safe bet. They're just continuing to run themselves into that very, very costly B defense. As we're going to see ISO onto the eco buy here. 2 Deagles, 1 on Massey, 1 on Ratui. We're seeing Armour stuck onto that USPS, of course. The MP9 in a position where there is going to be quite a chance for it to make a lot of impact. We're going to see Cormus good enough for 3 here against the anti-eco. Massey with that deagle needs to be able to find himself a frag, and will quite early on. Gets himself a bit of a cheeky AK as his bomb starts to rotate over towards this A site. Massey. Now, the 1v3 situation coming in here. ISO putting a lot onto Massey, and well, he's not going to be able to find anything as we see Inferus good enough on the A aggression and aggressive enough towards that A site against the anti-eco to be able to keep Massey away from the bomb coming through, and a very good hold coming in from Inferus, being able to keep the buy and be able to build up a little bit of economy. The 2 deaths they had, merely a consolation prize here for ISO, as we are going to slowly see yet again ISO looking to get aggressive here with the deagles coming through. We're going to see Cormus good enough for 2. Jelicity to find 2 himself, and Ritsui, the one who threw that flash that absolutely doomed his teammates, now stuck in the 1v4 situation, only but a deagle in his hands. We are going to start to slowly see Inferus head straight towards him. Poke to find the final frag as Inferus pick themselves up 4. And well, the battle against the Eco has allowed Inferus to pick up a few crucial rounds quite early on. More importantly, it does look as if we are going to slowly see yet another ISO full buy here, with the M4A1Ss look to continue to reign supreme. It is going to be quite a passive hold towards this fountain area of the map. Yet again, B looking to be the presence, looking to be where a lot of the presence is going to be held. Kermis unable to find anything. Armor good enough to be able to isolate the fight. We're going to see potentially that bomb from Poke stuck in quite a vulnerable position. A nade stacked. Well, half of a nade stack to go over the top, as we're going to see Jelicity work his way up the stairs. Marcy quite concerned about the potential of the rotation all the way back to A. Jelicity to slowly make his way over back towards this monster area of the map. Marcy to rotate over, and not trusting the A hold almost looks to be Marcy's demise. We're going to see Molotov go in quite deep, however. Isolating Jaguar. We're going to see Vote good enough for 1. Vote good enough for 2. He's got the bomb down, and all of a sudden this one-man B-hold has absolutely turned into a disaster here from Inferus. We're going to see Rui good enough to be able to find Usman. The AWP goes down as Jelicity, well, stuck in the 1v3 situation. Having to worry about this monster presence. Tagged down a little bit before Valk. Good enough for 2 to stop the initial push. Is able to find the final frag. Is ISO able to pick themselves up 7. Inferus looking lost in the server as they continue to try and put the pieces together. We start to see ISO, well, taking advantage of the fact that this map is pretty T-sided, CT-sided, my apologies. As we do start to slowly see ISO once again looking to try and shut down this B aggression, this B presence. We're going to see Cormus flashed in. Good enough to find Armor, who tried to get aggressive through that short water area, that short water presence. As we see Inferus slowly Slowly looking towards this A site. Something new here. Team out. Ratsui. Looking to try and have themselves a big challenge here. We're going to see that MP9. Good enough for 2. Can't find the third, though. Jaguar to find both towards this A site. And now the aggression over into the site. The 2v2 situation coming through. We are going to see utility starting to rain down. A bit of dumpster smoke coming through. Usman able to find that frag just before that flash does pop, and we're going to see Massey now in a position coming from this dumpster area of the map. Smokes to go down. He's going to push through it, and we're going to see Jaguar punish him. Inferus pick up 5, and a much better round coming through. Unable to recover the AWP. Usman able to invest in it anyway, as we are going to slowly see another full buy here. The anti-echo to come through. Usman able to find Valk. B site, absolutely brutal here from Cormus, able to find himself 3. 2 headshots coming through to open up this B site. Massey now left in a situation where that USPS is going to be found. So we are going to see Inferus. Well, they've started to bring it back a little bit. A 7-6 scoreline here. We are going to see Armour. Good enough for 2. Spraying down Cormus and Jelicity, 2 players who have really been a thorn in the side here for this ET side. Utility to go out. We're going to see Poke. Look to be that entry here. Smokes to go down. We are going to see Usman almost get lost in the scope. Massey caught with an 8 out. We're going to see Poke able to find 1. Armour to find himself a 2nd. Potential for the 3rd to come through. Spots the AWP. We're going to see Armour good enough for 3. ISO able to pick themselves up 8. The ace coming in through from Armour. So we are going to see Inferus here looking to try and fight to keep themselves alive in this game. A 9-6 scoreline here at the half could be completely devastating for Inferus, especially moving on to their CT side. We do know how aggressive a lot of these T side pops can be. So we are going to start to once again take a look at yet another heavy A presence with a bit of a cheeky B lean. So we are going to start to slowly yet again take a look at ISO, looking to have themselves a 3-man B lane. That conditioning coming in through from this T side here, working a treat, as we're going to see Team Owl, however, able to find himself 2. So we are going to see ISO continuing to show that presence towards B, even though the A split has been uncovered. We're going to see Massey good enough for 1. Utility to rain down. Jelicity watching that angle. We're going to see Smokes able to allow Massey's escape. Julicity able to find one. Julicity needing the second here. However, the AWP of Valk and Ritsui able to pick up 9 here for ISO. A brilliant first half coming in from ISO. Inferus barely keeping themselves together. As it just looks to continue to spiral here. More importantly, we are going to see Inferus now in a position where the half does come to an end. This next half's going to continue to be quite important here from Inferus. They needed themselves a good start. As now we're going to start to slowly have a look at this Inferus side and what exactly they are going to be able to do. As we are set to get ourselves underway here for this second half. Inferus looking to try and get a little bit of an impressive start coming through. We are going to start to slowly see ISO now, once again looking towards his B site. We are going to see Armor good enough for 2. Valk to help out Usman, the only person to find a frag, as we're going to see ISO just completely ravish this B defense. Inferus picked apart here, as ISO continuing to have such an explosive start, explosive patterns coming through. So we are going to slowly see ISO, see if they can bounce off a lot of the starts that they have had. We're going to see the Deagles, the Scouts, a 5-7 come out here from Inferus. More importantly, ISO looking to try and get themselves into a position where they're going to wait for Inferus to make a mistake. We're going to see Cormus actually tagged through Monster. We're going to see a lot of stairs control taken, and the fact that we are seeing Inferus playing so passively. So we are going to see Poke good enough for one. Able to find himself a second. Can't find the third. Actually did find the third. We're going to see T-Mao able to find himself a frag. Gets himself an AK as a bit of a cheeky reward. And now the 2v3 situation where the Pistols all of a sudden looking to try and isolate these duels. Massey, T-Mao having to try and keep themselves together. Jelicity good enough for one. We're going to see T-Mao good enough to get one back. But Jelicity to double up. And now Inferus able to pick themselves up 7. Now, we are going to slowly let yet again have Inferus in a position where it's going to be so impressive where Inferus, if they're able to bring this back. We are going to show yet again Usman able to find Massey. A brilliant piece of work. We're seeing Armour get one back before being traded out, and now the 3v4 situation coming through. We're going to see Valk. We know how much of a gun he is, and oh, what a shot. A beautiful shot coming in here from Valk. Give screen time to Marcy. Yes sir, next round. I got you, my boy. It's Mazzy. I'm not finished, dude. I really don't know. Keep it a stack. Speaking of not finished, ISO still not done with this B side here. Jelicity able to spot the toes, good enough for one. This flash is starting to come through. Jelicity able to find himself a second. Jelicity able to find himself 3 as ISO going down to Jelicity. As that B take all of a sudden having very little to no impact here for ISO eSports. As now we are going to start to see Mazzy all of a sudden having himself a bit of a fun time playing this support role here. The 3v3 coming through. Of course, Mazzy Cam was requested, and well, ISO, I think that round going exactly the way I think everyone was thinking. With Inferus, the rifle ability, just being able to punish. Being able to punish ISO as well. It's just continuing to, yet again, we're going to see Inferus all of a sudden have themselves an opportunity. Yeah, ISO now in a position where like how I give all the screen time to ISO? Well, it's auto director, so it's not me. We are going to start to slowly see ISO now in a position where this long take is starting to come through. Inferus have had their struggles when it has come to this long sort of area of the map. We are going to see some utility come out. towards what's looking to be a bit of a delayed A split coming through with Marcy playing that rotation role. Usman needs to find himself his first frag and does. Usman in a position where he's able to find himself too. Valk able to find Cormus, and Usman can only sit and watch as he goes down to Mussy. Team out, able to find the trade on the Jaguar, and now this 2v2 post plant situation coming through. Valk on that AWP. Team out. Stuck dice. There's very, very little for him to go. Very, very little amount of places he can go. We're going to see Valk able to find one. Able to find the second in the 2v1 clutch. A huge play coming here through from ISO as they do pick themselves up 11. Not allowing Inferus even a foothold in towards that B-side area. That retake. My apologies. As we're going to start to slowly yet again we're going to see this double hold coming in. Jaguar Usman able to find one apiece through the stairs area of the map. Valk able to get one back. Molotov going through. We're going to see Jaguar able to double up. That bomb going down, and all of a sudden, alarm bells ringing here for ISO. The AWP of Ratui, good enough to be able to find a frag. Able to recover that bomb, and now the 3v2 situation is what was an absolute suicide sort of mission coming through. Now it's just looking as if Inferus waiting for ISO to make the mistake. ISO waiting for Inferus to make the mistake, as it does look to be a stalemate here in the server. We're going to start to see Julicity. Says hi to Ritsui. Will be spotted. Team now running out of bullets. So we're going to see Inferus able to pick up 10 here. ISO just getting unlucky. What do you mean, Sealy? I'm actually an ISO fan. I'm a big ISO fan undercover. I don't know what you're talking about. Also, a really good performance from you yesterday, I'm not gonna lie. But oh well. Now it's the main team's turn. As we are gonna start to slowly get ourselves yet again into the server. As it does just look as if it's gonna be just an A-long bum rush. So much space taken here with the pistols. We are going to see Julicity throwing down a little bit of util. Scared for that B presence. Jaguar's going to have all of the backs turned. Good enough for one. Two, a third coming through. Usman able to find one. Take away the ace, but Jaguar at least able to get a fourth. We're going to see Inferus pick up 11 to 11 in the first time this game has been tied up since 0-0. ISO continuing to have an absolute nightmare here on this T side. A lot of the fights they should be winning, a lot of the fights that they're taking over aggressively is starting to come back and hurt them, as we're starting to see Inferus all of a sudden have so much control around this map. The CT-sidedness of Overpass starting to shine through just ever so slightly. As Inferus looking to get aggressive here towards this B area of the map. Cormus is going to swing wide here. The double swing's going to come through. Cormus rewarded with the frag. We're going to see Mazzy in a position where we're going to see Poke good enough for one. Cormus waiting for that presence to come out through that stairs area of the map. It's not going to. And more importantly, Inferus now in a position where ISO have very little map control. And ISO in the 3v5 situation have, well, very little options. They have to take these fights on. We are going to see flashes come out. Flashes on the fly to be thrown. As Inferus start to prepare themselves for this B-hold coming through. It is going to be Cormus, the first one to spot them. Will go down. Utility over the top. We're going to see Marcy good enough for one. Marcy continuing his aggressive line through that B side. Valk's going to get that bomb down. The nade over the top. Unable to find anything. We're going to see Usman now in a position where the AWP is so close to finding a frag, and Mazzy looking to try and find Jelicity, but Armour gets there first. Able to find himself that frag. Usman with that AWP, able to strike now the 2v2 situation. Both of these Inferus players in the site. The reload coming in here from Jaguar. Pressure seconds ticking away. Usman good enough for one. Armour able to find himself another. Usman stuck in this 1v1 situation, and Armour needs to find this frag and will. We're going to see Armour able to recover the AWP. Won't go down to the bomb. An impressive display coming in from ISO there on the post-plant situation as Inferus. Too little, too late. And now ISO in a position where the cost of that last round is starting to hurt their account. They've got 3 MAC-10s coming into this round, an AK-47, the AWP as well to join it from last round. Full sets of utility here, so we can expect a full, take coming into a side. A little bit of pressure to be pushed over through the utility usage. Inferus eSports, very, very light on the utility. We're seeing Cormus stuck with only 2 flashes as of yet. Does have that kit. The M4A1S's being the main highlight here on the menu for Inferus. A bit of a side dish coming through of that MP9 on Jelicity. But of course, the star of the show, Usman, with that AWP. Reinvested yet again. There's flashes over the top. Armour, once again, smoked out of monster control. Mazzy to push himself into a position where there is going to be that MAC-10 entering in. Good enough for one. We're going to see Valk team out, able to find themselves one apiece. And ISO all of a sudden, with the lackluster buy, should be able to pick themselves up 13 here. Mazzy with that M4A1S. Potentially able to find $13 coming through here. We're going to see that bomb go off. And very, very little to be said from Inferus eSports as they do give themselves up 13 here. ISO in a position where we're going to see ISO with that MAC-10 coming through. Inferus now in a position where the pistols are going to have to do a lot of the heavy work here. Jaguar, Usman can be expected to play those trade roles coming through here with the rifles, the AWP, the M4A1S saved over from last round. I'm surprised that we didn't see at least a MAC-10 dropped over here from Jaguar. Sorry, MP9, my apologies. The stack coming through from this stairs area of the map. We're going to see MA.SI. That's going to get really annoying to say. I'm not going to lie. More importantly, If it's pronounced with the 2 dots on top of the A, why isn't it 2 dots on top of the A in the server? Maybe? No. Well, whatever his name is, he just got a frag. Cormus, able to find himself the bottom of a 6-foot deep hole as Usman with that AWP, able to bring one back. And of course, it's the very oh-so dangerous armor. We're going to see Valk able to find himself one. Potential for the second to come through here as Poke does hit the deck. Jaguar needs a big contribution here. Good enough for one. Can't find the second. Ratui to get that trade. A huge frag coming through, and now it's all down to Usman. We see ISO pick up 14 here. Without a doubt. It is going to be quite a shocking buy for Inferus coming into this one as they are staring down the barrel of match point. Honestly, lad, I'm going to keep it a stack 50 with you. The 2 dots on top of the A, I've usually been taught, is like a za. So it's Mazi. That's how it works in my head. But you've said that it's Mazzy. I've been taught it's Marcy. But that's okay. I don't speak Finnish, as you can probably tell. Now I said it right. It's Mazi or Masi? As in like Massimo? Which probably makes sense. First, Mazi. That's what I've been saying the whole day, man. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, lad? That's what I've been saying all day. That's all good though. We're gonna start to see this 5v4 situation. Mazi is going to be stuck in this stairs position, cutting off a lot of these rotations coming in through here from mid Inferus. Really going to be relying on this B retake coming through. That flash going AWOL. As ISO now in a position where we are going to slowly see, with 25 seconds left on the clock, potentially too little too late. As we're going to see Valk trying to find that toxic player. Utility going in and out. We're going to see Jelicity able to find one. Poke eventually to be traded. Jaguar to find himself too. That bomb is going to be faked the plant. We're going to see Team Owl able to find round number 15 here for ISO. The skirmish on B site all of a sudden leading Inferus astray as we're going to see ISO pick themselves up 15. In Finland it matters. Lad, do I sound like I'm from Finland? Like, is this a BO1 or BO3? It's actually BO5. All ESEA games are best of 5s. So we're in for the long haul, boys. Next map, Dust 2, followed by Vertigo, then Mirage, with the decider being Nuke. It's a best of 5, lad. This is ESEA Grand Final. The winner of this gets ESEA. As we are going to see the timeout here. And you can understand why Game 1 of the best of 5 is always quite extreme. No, it's a best of 1. It's a best of 1. Plus, who would play Nuke? Come on. Come on now. Who would play Nuke? Really? Come on. Just got yoinked and scroinked there, my guy. You would play Nuke? Oh, you're from the UK, so it doesn't really count, does it? Nuke's better than Mirage. Actually, I can't say Nuke's better than Mirage, lad. I have to say Mirage is better purely for the fact that my region is based off Mirage. Not from the UK, no. Then why does the Inferus Academy say on ESEA it's from the UK? I kind of want to know why. Is the core from the UK? I'm kind of interested. I have to learn more about the academy team, I'm not going to lie. So we are going to see ISO once again looking towards this long area of the map and the presence here from long. The captain's from? Is it actually? That's actually mental. I didn't know that. I thought it was from where majority of the players were from. And then if it was 5 different countries, it's where the captain's from. Or it would just say EU. We are going to see Cormus able to find one. That bomb going down. Poke needing to find this frag. Armor to get it down. The support finally coming through for ISO. Poke eventually able to find that frag. About 15. Taken off the bomb timer. We're going to see that AWP holding the line. Ratui good enough for one. Poke to hold the angle here. The swing coming in from Valok. We're going to see the stick from Jaguars. We're going to see Valok able to find himself two. ISO to pick up 16 as Inferus go down. An 0-1 start here. 2 UK, 2 Swedish, 1 Portugal. That's actually a mental lineup. That's like 2 really good countries at Counter-Strike in the UK. Like, Ancient's the best map? Oh boy. Alright. Alright. You know what? On the back of someone saying that Ancient's the best map, I think I'm going to have to end the stream. I can't believe it. Absurdities. Tuscan? Man. What's the one with the rock climbing? What's the map with the rock climbing? Ah, that's probably the best map. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've been your caster Flamboyant. I hope you guys have enjoyed the night so far. GG to ISO. A very well played game from them quite early on. Able to bring it back at the very, very end after Inferus did look like they were going to be quite aggressive and able to find that cheeky 16 first. So we are going to make our way out of here. It's been a pleasure, and I hope we do get to do it again, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, alas, I have to bid adieu. So take care of yourselves. I've been your caster Flamboyant. I'll see you guys in the next game. See you later.